That's okay. 24. Verse 24. And the children, Salakia, 24 is a different one. And the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment. Verse 33. Of Zebulun, such as went forth to battle, expert in war. You know, Issachar, then Zebulun. Of Zebulun, such as went forth to battle, expert in war, with all instruments of war, 50,000, which would keep rank. They were not of double heart. Yeah, man. So, hey, man, shows you. One of those, and you know why I bring that out? Because the Mayan calendar, man. The Mayan calendar. That was probably the Ishkarites that was in charge of setting that up. And the Aztec calendar, of course. They're very famous, very accurate calendars. Very accurate. You know, of course not a very accurate, you know, very accurate calendars. And you have, and of course this one, this one right here, you know, this, of course, Genesis 49. Issachar, it lists Zebulun, then Issachar, you know, so Zebulun and Issachar together. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. You know, and we was in the land, that was our border. That was the border of Zebulun. But you know, in the land, in Babylon, well, not in Babylon, in Arsaret, man, their border, their haven of ships as well. You know, they're the haven of ships as well. You know, Panama Canal go through Central America, and you know, Esau passed through and shit. I believe Esau actually fought a war with Panama, man. Oh, because Panama, like, the Panama deception. That's what that goes back to. Noriega, and that George H.W. Bush going down there and bombing Panama, really bombing the areas where the Zebulonites were at. And of course, even Benjamin down there. Of course, bombing that area as well. Bombing that area. You know, those were the areas and shit. So of course, fucking Esau. Of course. But, you know, he knows where the tribes are at. But yeah, man. That's a haven of ships right there. And in verse 14, Issachar is a strong ass, couching down between two burdens. Come on. That's why they was taking our people captive and shit. Verse 15, and he saw that that rest was good, you know, and the land was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. And yeah, that's exactly what happened to Issachar. He became a servant unto tribute, you know, the slavery, you know, starting with when the Spaniards under Hernan Cortez, starting with them when them devils came over and they took down Montezuma and shit. Even before then, you know, Issachar had other Issacarite tribes, you know, as tributaries. It's plain. You know, when you read about the history of the Aztecs, man, you always, or the Mexica. Really, they're the Mexica, which Mexica, you know, that's I really go back to what? Messiah, go back to that. Mashiach, or you know, sound like Mashiach. Really go back. Because these words, man, they really go back. They're like a dialect of Hebrew. You know, they own Hebrew with their own twist to it. And man, what does Mashiach mean? Anointed one. So our people, man, you know, we are, man. We are the sanctified ones, man. Really the elect on the side. Those are the sanctified ones. But Yasharallah, man, we supposed to be a special people. You know, we're a peculiar people unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So, you know, it's plain. Anointed to be that one, man. And Yahushai, he's the anointed one to save us. You know, it's plain. So, hey, man. Hey, but what I was saying, when you look into the history of the Mexica, when you look into it, or the you know, aka the Aztecs, when you look into their history, you know, they had other tribes, you know, and there's other so-called Iscarite tribes, because these tribes became like a nation, right? Became a whole nation themselves. You know, they had other tribes of Issachar under tribute. And then when Esau came with Hernan Cortez, man, of course, hey, man, you know, even if you look at it, man, you know, that spirit that we was gonna be under, man, where people had their evil eye towards each other, you know, our people was already in disunity, man. Because when Esau came, when Hernan Cortez came to fuck our people up, to fuck Issachar up, what there was Issacarite tribes that took his side, because they can never take our people down with just by themselves. You know, Esau's weak. Esau can't do it, you know. So what he do? He get Jake to do it for him. No, those are them same men, man. The same ones. And then of course, as our people fell, it got worse. The same traitor tribes, you know, that were the same, y'all, the same tribes of Issachar that took the side of the Spanish speaking devils. No, hey man, even it goes even deeper because at the same time as you had that, you had Moors, Judite Moors, that what they do, they chose to sell out and serve in this devil's army, and they were put in hell. They were put in hell in Ishkar over there as well. So I mean, fucking Sambos, man, fucking sellouts, both among the northern and southern kingdom, played a part in our oppression and still do. All the tribes, man. Fucking Malinches, man. what they call them in Mexico. Hey, man. This is just more proof that the so-called Mexicans and Central Americans are the tribes. That the so-called Mexicans are a tribe of Issachar, and the Zebulonites are the tribe. And the Central Americans are the tribe of Zebulon, respectively. And the Mayans, they were made up of both Issachar and Zebulon. Hey, if you look at it, man, what the Mayans did back then, they went off into that shit. Because, hey, man, the evil eye, man, when our people started to go off, the curses was already clinging to our people. That evil eye included because our people acted like heathens toward each other, man. Hey, man, the reason why those Ishkarite niggas sided with the Spanish-speaking Edomites was because Issachar, because basically, I guess you could say the head family, the head tribe of Issachar, the head family of Issachar. The tribes are really big families. The head family of Issachar, they was putting holy hell, man. They was putting, unholy hell, man. Unholy hell. They was putting the other Ishkarites through hell, man. They was getting fucking they would do human sacrifices of the adversaries, man. They would do human sacrifices of their adversaries. They was getting into the customs of the heathens, man. Putting unholy hell on their brothers, So one thing led to another. Because our people went off, decided to get back on their bullshit. Hey man, and what the Mayans, the tribe of Zebulon and Issachar, what they do? The Mata Salvatruches, man. That's them today, man. You could see it. They do the same shit they did back then. They'd do that shit too. The Mayan pyramids, the Mayan temples, they do that shit too. Going into the custom of the heathens, the shit that they had been going into back in the land of Israel. They brought it back. They was back on their bullshit. And so Esau would be like, nope. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushua was like, I'm going to send, all right. I see Northern Kingdom's going off again. You know, and even after, I believe Yahweh Shai went to them. I believe he went to them after after he was murdered. I believe, you know, because he had to go get them tribes that were, he had to go get he had other sheep. He had other sheep. And let me get that. Other sheep which are not of this fold. Other sheep not of this fold. There you go. It came up when I was looking it up. When I looked up other sheep. John 10:16. You know, John 10:16, and other sheep I have, which are not of this fold. Them must I also bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd, one kingdom, out of two, the northern and the southern. Other sheep, man, because he came to save the tents of Judah first. You know, I lay down my life for my sheep, right? Verse 15. You know, where did he die? Where was he put to death? Where did he raise back up? Land of Judah. Hey, but he had other sheep, so I believe so, man. That when he went, where he went, you know, that he went to them tribes that was in the land of that was in Arsareth. I believe so. I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, man. So basically, hold on. Oh, Esau took the live chat off of live. Of course. Of course. Yeah, even after that, what did Northern Kingdom do? They was going off. And so Yahweh Shem Yahushua had to bring that sword on them. That's what, hey. And then now, hey, he's going to have to remind y'all again because we've been out there telling you that this man is the damn devil. And that's why he puts hell on you. He put hell on you because y'all's going off. And he's the sword of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We out here telling y'all that, you know, and you know, time is coming when y'all ain't gonna, if you Jakes, all y'all 12 tribes, y'all can't, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners can't learn, if y'all won't learn from the, you won't learn the easy way, y'all are gonna learn the hard way. That's just facts. And so, man, you know, this devil is gonna show you his real nature, man. He's gonna show you his true colors, man. He's already doing it. You know, you had Trump. You know, this is the most famous example, right? You had Trump fucking tell you, man. He called you so-called Mexicans. You know, and he's referring to, he saw when he talked about so-called Mexicans, he also was referring to you other so-called Latinos as well. Especially you so-called Central Americans, referring to y'all as well. He's calling y'all what? He was calling y'all rapists and drug dealers, right? He was calling y'all that, and some, I assume, are good people. Remember he was calling y'all rapists and drug dealers? You know, seem to have forgotten that, man. I looked in there was an article that I was looking at, and basically some of y'all want to support that devil. You know, hey, whether you support Trump or Biden, you know, Biden is a fucking devil too. Biden was under the Obama administration, and they were deporting more of you so-called Mexicans than Bush, Esau, Edom. What it says oh shit, I was like, damn. Oh, because it said it already streamed it. But then one is up already. Esau's fucking with the lies. I was like, damn. Oh, the script is his weakness. Con, it is. The sword is his strength. The scripture is his weakness. Whose strength is it? Jacob's. It's our blessing. We have the spiritual blessing. He has the carnal blessing. Scripture night. Yup, Esau's kryptonite. Because Esau is a beast, man. He's carnal. He's carnal like a beast. Hold up. Let me get back on it. I gotta close it and get back on it. Like a beast. That's Esau. Hey, which, you know, Trump saying that shit about so-called Mexicans, you know, and then Biden, you know, showing with his actions that, you know, he don't give a fuck about you so-called Mexicans as well. That's no, Trump just, and that's not just Trump, it's these devils, these other devils which say that shit too. And demonize y'all as gang members, man, as fucking drug dealers, as fucking thugs. You know, it's just like what they say about Judah. Proverbs and bywords. That's verse 37, man. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall lead thee. And, you know, that's plain right there. Aren't so-called Mexicans and Central Americans, aren't they proverb and byword in Babylon? Aren't they even a proverb and byword in their own land? You know, in Babylon, where Esau has his, like, home base, I guess. Esau's basically launching pad, his headquarters that he uses to rule the rest of the world. Aren't y'all demonized as that, as drug dealers and shit, as fucking gangbangers, as fucking lazy, even though y'all bust your ass more than the other tribes, even as drunkards, as all this shit, man. Even domestic abusers, all that. Oh, he's a bi person. Edom is through. He's a bi person. We're saying bye to the age of Esau, to the world of Esau. We're saying bye to him. Welcome to the world of Jacob. Welcome to my world, right? Welcome to Jacob's world. Where Esau is gonna be, seen as the devil that he is. The cave beast that he is. He's gonna look like the devil that he is. Esau is gonna look that way. Like, he's gonna have no sunscreen in the kingdom. Of course not. Why would we let him have sunscreen? And them horns that these devils grow, man. Naturally, man. Them horns that they grow and them little tails that they grow, we're gonna let them grow. It's gonna be easy to call them devils. Esau is gonna get it much worse. 2,000 times as worse. You already see Karen is a byword, right? Karen and Darren. That's like the N-word, but for Esau. Well, we're gonna call them devils, or just Esau. Oh, not even Karen. You have a devil whose name was Karen, a she devil whose name was Karen. Back on this side, no, you're Seesaw. You're not Karen, you're Seesaw. You're not Kyle. You're not Kyle. No, your name is Esau. His byword is his actual identity. Esau has to put fake names on us. Bywords that don't really apply to us. Lies. Esau has to lie on us. But we tell the truth. We tell the truth and shame the devil. We tell the truth about this man, and that's a byword and a proverb right there. That's enough right there, man. It's already that's we don't have to make up shit to demonize them. This is what the enemies have to do. Esau, the enemy, the adversary. This is what we has. Salakia. This is what he has to do. Psalms 50 verse 20. Psalms 50 verse 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. That's what these devils have to do. They have to give their mouth to evil and their tongue got a frame deceit. Because if they admit we're the Israelites, well, that's Yasharallah. That's the people. That's the sons of the Most High. Karen means horn or power, referring to power hungry. Actually, not a bad byword for him. Karen means horn, yep. Well, Esau, these Shedemites, What, ain't that what they were doing? Showing their horns? Seesaw, man. Hey, Karen's actually not a bad byword for seesaw. Or even Esau, man. Yeah, Darren, that's the male version. Hey, Vocab Malone, that's a Darren. Vocab Malone is a Darren. A male version of Darren, of Karen, man. Coined by none other than Amawat, than that elder, that brother, Amawani Bod. He calls him Darren. Karen entered the English language from Danish, which had it. Let me look at the etymology of this devil. I mean, of this name, Karen. Hey, Darren, like who? Like Darren Wilson, that devil that shot Michael Brown. Okay, the fuck? I'm trying to find where Karen come from. I try to look it up in etymology online. Let me see this. If I spell with the E. Karen. Short form of Catherine. Let me look at that. Proper name also Catherine. See Catherine. Okay, the fuck. Sorry, sis. Where did that come from, Mark? Where did that come from, Mark? Trying to look it up. Of course, Esau reloads my app. So he takes my live off of my live chat off, and then he reloads my app. Of course, Esau, you're the damn devil. Of course, Esau, you're the damn devil. Oh, Kari. You know, there's Edomites, that have a name like that too. Kari or some shit. There's Edomites that have that name too. Kari mean evil. Oh, Re. Re means evil. I know Re means evil. So Riyam. That's why Shalak. Riyam means sin evils. So I get what you're saying. I'd have to look on the real Hebrew Israelites website then. Sometimes you just have to go straight to the source, because they're not gonna tell you. Esau's not gonna make it clear for you. So I believe that's where they have it at. Ah, shit. Esau, man. Okay. Oh, Salakia typos are a bitch. Hold up. Hebrew Israelite. Yes. Typos be fucking with me. Sorry though. Sorry, though. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta do that, because Esau won't tell you straight up. Show ass up. They say it don't exist. I'm just gonna have to do it this way then. And then just scroll past the bullshit, of course. Bye. Bye. Bye, Esau. Bye, Esau. I don't. Bye. See you. Wouldn't want to be you. All this fucking slander. No, I'm just trying to find the fucking site. Could care less of what y'all think about it. I look up real Hebrew Israelites and black Hebrew Israelites show up. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You know, but it's kind of an acknowledgement. You know, it's a fucking byword and a dumb one at that. Even it's kind of like an acknowledgement. So you're telling me that the real Hebrew Israelites are so-called black. Your ass up, people. I mean, at least they history of Hebrew Israelism, Southern Poverty Law Center. Shut the fuck up. Vocab be calling us Hebrew Israelism and shit. No, it's not an ism. We a nationality. Show ass up. All types of fucking slander. Psalms 50 verse 20. Slandering. That's what they do. Slander their own mother, so their own mother's son. That's what they do. Damn, I'm trying to find that site where it got the Hebrew. Man. Had that little exclamation point, that triangle. You sure you want to look at this site? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I looked it up, didn't I? Esau is just hurt. That's what it comes down to. There's a site called Real Hebrew Israelites, though. And it probably does mean that. Kari probably does mean the evil. They are. They are so-called, or these so-called white people are. They are our adversary. You know. They are, man. They're wicked. They bring bad times. They are evil. You know, so really it is them. It is them. It is them, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if it actually does mean that. Just can't find a exact definition. Because Esau, of course. Esau has to bury it. You know, when you look at your results, you look that up, Salakia, the fuck. When you look up the results of, you look up Real Hebrew Israelites, Esau just buries it under a bunch of bullshit. I know there's a site called that. Yeah. I don't, man, probably con. I wouldn't doubt that that's the definition of it. Because that's what they bring around the world. They bring evil. I mean, so many Jakes have died because of Karen's lies. So that's what is that? Bad times. And they was doing it again. That's why they got called Karen. And then Darren like Darren Wilson. Hey man, that's them curses. That's Deuteronomy 30 verse 7 right there. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai, thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. That's what's happening to them. It's being flipped. You know, and these devils, they ain't got faith. They carnal. They can't handle the curses like our people could. They ain't carnal, and they ain't got no flavor or nothing. They can't make no songs that actually hit about the curses. And there ain't gonna be no Edomite hip hop groups. Edomite lives matter. Edomite lives matter, or some shit like that. Edomite power movement, red power movement, whatever. It ain't gonna be none. I mean, they probably gonna they probably gonna be plotting, man. Esau gonna be plotting, oh, we gonna take these Israelites down this time. You know, but we gonna fool them. Every time they think that they plot is gonna be successful, we gonna fool them. Like, nah, bitch, you thought. Nah, Esau, you thought. Back in the pits. You know, we gonna fuck them up. And, hey, back in the pits with your ass. Back to work. You know. And no Edomite savior is gonna come for their ass. They're just gonna be through. You know, because even though our people was put under the curses, all 12 tribes, and it was a chastisement, it was a scourge for amendment. That's what that was. Because we're Yasharallah, we're sons of the living power, princes of the power, you know, and you know, if you don't, you know, a father that loves his son is gonna chastise him. And so, yeah, we had to be put under the curses. We was going off. We was committing all types of iniquity. We had to, man. You know, that was the consequences. You know, our Father in heaven warned us of what was going to happen. You know, so he had to make good on his word. He had to make good on his word, man. And it was, you know, he's also said that these curses are going to destroy 2/3. And you see it. Because Esau is getting back in that mindset. He's getting back on Cain mode. And, you know, Trump, start with him, man. That proud ass devil, man. You know, when they put that devil Trump back in office, when they started to promote that devil Trump, you know, these Edomites was acting proud. You know, hey, man, I opened it right there. In Hebrews 12, verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Verse 6. For whom Yahweh Shem Yahushai, whom he loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son who he receiveth, you know. No, you go off, he ain't gonna want you to go off. He ain't gonna be happy. You know, he cares about you going off and not doing the right thing cause you're his son. Verse 7, if ye endure chastening, Yahweh will deal with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? And there you go. You know, there you go. Verse 8, you know, I mean, he tells you as a father, he tells you as a father, you gotta chasten your son. So that's his advice to us. So why wouldn't he also be the same way? Verse 8, but if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. And, you know, these devils that call themselves Jews, man, that tells you right there, they ain't the tribes. Because they're just in the land, polluting the land, committing all kinds of abominations. You know, they're literally sucking infant baby dicks. Literally, oral circumcision. You know, the most filthy thing that you could do. You know, and you know, they're in the land, they're living it up. You know, they're the elites too, the rat childs. They're eating kosher pig over there too, man. They're just committing all types of abomination over there. But we're supposed to believe that they're the Jews. No, hell no. They ain't Judah, the one of the tribes of Yasharallah, princes of the power, sons of the power, sons of the Most High, sons of Yahweh. They ain't it. He don't deal with them as sons. No, because they're bastards. They're bastards, but you know, hey, they're which means what are you gonna do? You know, he's just gonna destroy them all at once, man. No, not deliver them after, because you know, yeah, the Most High, he chasten you, but he'll like give you a way out of it. He'll deliver you. He'll deliver you after. Oh, Kari is your evil. Yeah, cause Ha means duh. So Kari is your evil. They are evil. They are evil, man. Yeah, and these so-called white people, you know, that are Edomites and these Jewish, they can't mean no damn, you know, they're obviously the Edomites, you know, just as obvious as the so-called Mexicans, so-called blacks, so-called Latinos, so-called natives, and these Israelite foreigner speckled birds, just as obvious as they are the tribes, is obvious that the Jewish, you know, they just have a Jewish. They're not the true Jews. How the fuck you gonna have clean swine when pork is declared unclean? Don't even touch a dead pig. I don't know. Ask a Jewish. Ask an Amalekite. Because they're, hey man, a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod is plain. It's plain. A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, which, you know, that's in Zechariah, I believe. Yup, Zechariah 9 verse 6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. So there you go, man. A bastard, a Jewish, is dwelling, a fake Jew, you know, not a son, not Yasharallah, is dwelling in Ashdod. You know, that's part of the judgments on that land, man. Even on these Amalekites are gonna be there. And a judgment on Ishmael as well, man. Because these Amalekites, they're putting hell on the Ishmaelites, the same ones that sold us to Esau, you know, to these Amalekites, to these same Amalekites. That's the devil. They some bastards. Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, man, because you have to think of it this way as well. You know, would your dad or even your mom care about if another kid is misbehaving? You know, nah, that's their kid. You know, but they're gonna care about you going off. Hey, you'll be like, but his mom, or his dad let him do it. His dad, his parents let him do this or that. Well, he's not my child, you're my child. Hey, that would be their answer. Hey, but at the same time, man, you know, if another kid, you know, is, you know, you have a son and another kid is messing with them and shit, fucking with them, man, you're gonna help your kid out. So I mean, it's plain who Yasharallah is and who Esau Edom is. That's these Jewish and these self-proclaimed whites. You know, they're anything but. You know, they're slandering our people because they're calling them thugs and shit. Trump likes to call Jake thugs. For example, I think even Obama did once, that dirty Hamite. I think he called them thugs as well once. But Obama, he was a so-called liberal, so he had to be like act all nice to our people, but didn't do shit. It was all an act. And then Biden, man, there's even quotes from Biden showing that he hates Jake. He hates so-called black people. And, you know, he doesn't give a damn about, he actually hates so-called Latinos too. He doesn't care about them. He doesn't care about none of our people. But, you know, hey, they're not learning. 2/3 are not going to learn the lesson from the past. They're not going to learn their history lesson. They're gonna end up repeating it. That's just how it's set up to be, man. You know, he's gonna use that sword, man. Use his whipping stick one more time. You know, and he made that clear, man. He made that clear when he had these elites put Trump up there. You know, and Trump showed that hatred. So, you know what time it is. You know, I believe that these devils are going to have Trump in there again. I believe that it's just, man, he's the proudest devil. He's more stout even than the other American presidents. And America is that little horn that he was more stout than his fellows. So that's saying something. They're gonna have that devil Trump, I believe. You know, it's gonna cause all out chaos. You tribes, man, y'all in for it, man. Because maybe that's what's gonna make y'all realize it when he get in again. You know, they're already putting hell on y'all. Already got the martial law troops out there in several cities. There's National Guard troops out there. And Trump, he said, when the looting started, the shooting started, you know he's blaming you, Jakes. It's BLM. BLM, what do people think of when they think of BLM? They think of Jakes. You know, you so-called blacks, but also so-called Latinos and Native Americans, because, you know, unlike the majority of y'all, our enemies know who we are. They know who the tribes are. They see you so-called Mexicans, you so-called Latinos as, you know, just as a bunch of Spanish-speaking niggas. That's how they see y'all. And they're showing y'all that. You know, that's what's going to get y'all to eventually. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11 tells us, verse 12 tells us what's going to happen when you Drakes realize. Well, there's other scriptures as well that's even more clear about it. But Isaiah chapter 11, verse 12, verse 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. So that's the tribes coming back together. Ephraim, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Mexicans, and you other Latinos, the other so-called Latinos, and you Native Americans, y'all are gonna no longer envy your brother Judah, the so-called black people. You're no longer gonna envy them. And like y'all have been envying them for a while. And the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. You know, those of y'all that still do. But, you know, as a whole, y'all are gonna stop. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Man, you so-called black you BOIs, black only Israelites, man, that's what y'all be doing. Vexing Ephraim. It's prophesied that y'all do it because it's prophesied that y'all stop doing it. You know, y'all vex Ephraim. You know, and Esau encourages it, you know, through his propaganda and through social engineering. He has the rap industry, for example, how he has it set up, promotes Judite rappers and even Israelite foreigners, rappers, you know, that are probably Southern Kingdom over you so-called Latino rappers. Even though, you know, there's so-called Latino rappers, you know, I know Judah, you know, sets the trend, right? But there's so-called Latino rappers that got, you know, they got bars, man. But what Amalek, what they'll do is they will they will have they'll make sure that they don't get ahead, man. they'll have like I don't know, blacklist. I don't know if blacklist, but like blackout, man. Kind of like fuck them over, and then instead promote a Judite rapper, you know. And then on the that that is how Esau. That is how Esau encourages that envy in Ephraim, and you know, vice versa. You have in the workplace, you have so-called Latinos. They get promoted to be manager and shit. You know, in the first, all of Jacob's first hired, last fired, but so-called Latinos, they'll get hired before Judah and shit, and then that will create that resentment that Judah has towards the northern kingdom. That'll create it there, and then they'll encourage it. Esau will like put it in them to northern kingdom magnify themselves against Judah. So that's how they pit the two kingdoms against each other, while putting hell on both of them. The so-called Latino, goes back. Yeah, he got the job, but it's with shit wages, and it's a very hard job. Heavy labor job, long hours. He's even working overtime, and then he goes back. He goes back where? To the barrio, or to the ghetto. He goes back over there. He goes back to his woman. Cause his woman, of course, his woman be spazzing on him as well. The so-called Latina woman is known to be that way as well. They're known to be crazy, whatever. They're known to be that way. With varying degrees. Ephraim being the most. They're known to be that way, but also Issachar. Also these other tribe women. And so he goes back, he got deal with her, man. You gotta deal with her. And then you gotta deal with her. So, from catching hell from Esau at the workplace and from his brethren at the workplace, flexing, trying to kiss Esau's ass more than the other one, to just being niggas, to going home, going to the hood, and dealing with this woman tripping out. Where have you been at all day? Like they'll do that shit. They'll literally do that shit. I've been waiting here at home all day and shit. Like, oh, the women, no, nowadays they probably working though themselves too. And they get home. Where you been at? I expected you to be home at this certain time. Because Eve flexed that power. Eve will flex that power that they have been given by Esau as well. As Eve has that evil eye as well. That's the curses as well. The tender and delicate woman among you, which will not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son and toward her daughter. And these so-called Latino dads, they also be getting taken to court for child support and shit. Just like what Eve do to Judah, because the so-called Latino woman, they followed, and even Native American woman, they followed their sister, their sister's a Judite woman, and who followed Esau, and so they do that shit as well. They do that shit as well. They're harlot in the city, in the streets as well. They're bad bitches as well. Your wife shall be a harlot in the streets. in the city. Amos 7 verse 17. That applies to the so-called, applies to the northern tribes, the so-called Latinos and Native Americans as well. You know, I know this, too well. I know this too well. You know, I live among Northern Kingdom. I live in San Antonio, Texas, man. That's like a city that is known for its large population of Issachar. Amos 7 verse 17. Therefore thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by lion, and thou shalt die in a polluted land. And Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. You know, and that is what's happening because our people committed adultery against the Most High Yahweh. So he gave us a taste of our own medicine. You know, all right, I'm gonna show you how it feels whenever your woman commits adultery against you. Since you wanted to do that against me. There's actually a scripture that goes into that. When your woman commits adultery, basically he says, I won't do nothing. I believe it goes into that. Hosea 4 verse 14. Hey, Hosea, who did he go to? The northern kingdom. Trying to find it. Hold up. Book of Hosea. Yeah, Hosea 4 verse 14. I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery, for themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore that the people that doth not understand shall fall. Verse 15. Yeah, man, the people that doth not understand, because our people, 2/3 today have no understanding. They have no understanding of what's right. But they are bad bitches. You can't tell me they are bad. They ain't bad and they ain't bitches. God, Og. Exactly, Og. What is a bitch? A female dog. A shameless woman shall be counted as what? A dog. It's plain. And they are bad. They're bad for your health. Like Chief Gabar put it. And the daughters of Zion becoming bad bitches, man, that's judgment on our people. But they themselves are going to be judged for their adultery, man. He hasn't been doing it because it was a judgment. But I mean, Micah 7 verse 10 is when they are going to be judged. Verse 15, though thou, Israel, played a harlot, because this is directed towards you northern tribes. But Judah, you was also doing the same shit. Yet let not Judah offend. But Judah still offended. And come ye not ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye up unto Beth-aven, nor swear Yahweh Bashem Yahushua liveth, man. Amen. For Israel, verse 16, for Israel slided back as a backsliding heifer. Now Yahweh Bashem Yahushua will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Which can, that applies to these so-called Latinos and natives. They're fed as a lamb, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. They're fed as a lamb in a large place, Babylon, America. This place does nothing but devour our people. Verse 17, Ephraim is joined unto idols, let him alone. To this day, these 2/3 commit adultery against the Most High Yahweh. And so to this day, our women, been going off and committing adultery against us, being bad bitches. But hey, Micah 7 and 10, is coming. They're gonna be judged for that. He's withheld the judgment, but Jacob's trouble, man, all our people are gonna be judged. Even these bad bitches, they're gonna be judged for being bad bitches. That's I'm getting it. Micah 7 verse 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh Shem Yahushai thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. And that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to be trodden down, trodden underfoot. When these martial laws run through, martial law troops, because in Texas, we call the cops the laws, right? Martial law troops, when they run through the hood, they're gonna run through these women as well. And these Gurkha troops, man, they've been waiting for it. That moment, seeing Eve all up on IG twerking and shit. Elam be fucking Elam be leaving them comments, man. Elam be leaving them comments on there, man, going in their DMs and shit. For example, these heathens, man. They be wanting to freak off with our women. And Esau and the heathens. There's the UN blue helmets. The Gurkha troops. They're going to be running through the hood. And they're going to be running through these hood rats as well. Yeah, man. There's actually a scripture that talks about that as well in Isaiah chapter 13. Yeah. Their children, hey man, verse 15, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Verse 16, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes, and their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. There you go. There you go. Everyone that is joined unto them. And 2/3 are joined unto Esau, Edom, their spiritual father. They take on his ways. Jake, man, in this country, Jake was raised by Esau, if you think about it. A lot of Jakes, they grew up in broken homes and shit. So, guess what? Guess who was the father? Esau's media, Esau's fool system. That's why our people act like fools. Esau's media, Esau's fool system, babysitting the kids. Of course, daycares as well. Esau's, what they use Esau's methods to teach them, though. Everything coming from Esau. Esau's, pre-K, now you have pre-K and you have Jake kids and pre-K and shit. And so Esau has been raising Jake since, for a while, man. Since they first started watching TV. Since they was watching them cartoons, man. Hey, man, that's why Esau drove the man out of the house. Out of a lot of these houses, man. And it's so-called Latinos and natives, Israelite foreigners, they were also affected by that. He drove the man out of their houses as well. People think it just happened to so-called black people. No, all the tribes got it, and they raised them. They raised them to be what? Little monsters, man. Menstruous women shall raise monsters, bring forth monsters, man. They raised them to be monsters, and what they grow up to be real niggas and bad bitches. Cause Esau took from the man that actually had these kids all child support, right? Esau take from them vagina money, aka alimony, then Esau and give it to the woman. And then also all these welfare programs for the woman. The WIC, you get more food stamps if you have more kids. All this shit, man. All this shit. And plus Eve likes to use man for money anyways. Eve will use you for money, man. As well. And Eve is, even with all this, Eve is still, you still have Eves out there, selling box. You still have that shit. So, yeah, man. And then what did they do with that money, man? Some to the kids. But what happens most of the time, you was raised by two sodomite pedophilic faggots. They was your stepdad. Oh no, two sodomite pedophilic faggots. You was given up for adoption, not. Cause that faggot adoption shit right there, that's also how Jake kids be ended up in fucked up situations. Edomite faggots, right? They'll adopt kids. Edomites like to adopt Jake kids. That's another. They like to adopt Jake kids so they can So they can have a house nigga all over again. That's the real reason. If it's a sodomite pedophile faggot, man, hey man, that's what they was doing back in slavery days. You already know it. Esau, bug breaking. And hey man, the little boy house slaves, they was probably doing that. They was probably doing it to them. You know how Esau get down, man. They was probably doing sick shit. Esau raised Jake as a whole in Babylon. Esau is effeminate, Esau is a faggot, and Eve, of course, she's a woman. So all that feminine energy, and that's why, and people wonder why Jake don't know how to be a real man. Because they're raised by an effeminate man, Esau, and a woman. When you go to school, who be the people over there teaching you, man? Besides Edomites. Edomite men and Edomite women. A lot of Shedemites be teaching the kids Khan. So Esau is raising your kids, molding their minds, and then giving to Eve. Giving Eve the money that they stole from Jake. And even Eve be out there, even Eve, because, Eve bust their ass. Eve be doing them secretary jobs and shit. Them those types of jobs, Sometimes they be restaurant jobs too. Especially Ishkar women. They be in the restaurant as well. So guess who's raising the child? Esau. Uncle Satan is raising the child. And in the media too, when he get back home. Oh, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai was with you. It was fucking terrible. They had 3 of y'all. Hey, he delivered you, man. You was being raised by the enemy, literally. That's Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. They have mercy on you. You could have been you could have been the sodomite, because you could have been turned out by these devils. Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, call all Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for that. Cause yeah, you were y'all was children in the hands of 2 pedophile devils. Hey, man. Hey, that's also how Esau be getting their hands on these on our kids directly through the adoption system. Also how human smugglers be getting their hands on our children directly, because they get taken away by CPS from their parents, and then from their mom, whoever's raising them, and then they get taken into the system, and then That's how these pedophiles get the kids, cause they adopt them, and then they'll sell them into the hands of someone else, or another pedophile. They'll do that shit, trade them around and shit. You know, slaves. Have them as slaves. That's a type of slavery. Yeah, Esau is the wicked, for real, man. That's how you know. You had first-hand experience with Esau being the wicked. You know, his mind is not right. That's Habakkuk chapter 2, verse, this in chapter 2, let me get it. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up in him, which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. His soul is not right. What they say about these pedophiles, oh, they're like that, man. You can't, they're just like that. You can't fucking... Basically, they're trying to say it too. Oh, we were born that way. Well, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. It just proves that, you know, because this Edomites, you know, even a tear, you know, that's an Edomite. Edomite that looks like an Israelite. Oh yeah. Oh, they tried so hard. They encourage cross-dressing, gay activity, sodomite activity, taking us to the LGBT sodomite festival. Lots of ass. Oh, that too, they'd grab your rod. And rod grabbing. They're sick. You know, a lot of these homosexuals that, you know, a lot of them are pedophiles as well. There's something else. Oh, I was looking for that precept where it talks about them being a vessel unto dishonor. Romans 9 verse 21. Had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? And that's Esau. He's that vessel unto dishonor. You know, the vessel of dishonor that was made to be destroyed. Verse 22. What if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? Hey man, yeah, you know why they have the audacity to get upset when the issue is addressed? Because Esau is they're not, because these devils are proud, man. They hold themselves not guilty, talking about them killing Jake, but also not just that, they hold themselves not guilty when it comes to oppressing our people, period. Esau will let his own off. Esau won't, with a vessel unto dishonor, tells you right there. Because he has no honor. He's not a man of valor. He's not going to admit that his faults. He's not going to admit to being wicked. Unless he's trying to, he'll admit to a few things. No, really, he'll snitch on his brother. He'll snitch on his brother, but because of some vendetta or some shit that they have. Because, Esau, has no love for Esau either. So they'll fuck each other over as well, man. But that's they hold themselves not guilty. Now Esau will constantly be in denial of that pedophilia issue. Especially of so-called Sodomites. A lot of them are also pedophiles. They'll deny that shit. They'll accuse you of that hate speech. They'll accuse you of evil, because you're speaking the truth. And then Jake will go along with it. These sodomite Jakes out there will go along with it. They'll we have to back up the LGBTQ. They're being oppressed by the so-called white man. That's what they'll say. When the so-called white man is that they are the faggots, and they make they turn our people out. They're just trying to turn you out, right? That's how a lot of wait, let me get this, man. They speak wickedly concerning oppression. That's how a lot of Jakes become homosexuals. They were turned out. Because it's not a Jake thing to be a faggot. That's not. Israelites were not. It's not in our nature to be faggots. It's in their nature. And that's Psalms chapter 17. Hey, man. Let me get this one. Verse 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning the oppression. They speak loftily. That's Esau. That's Esau. Denying that they oppress our people. Hey, even verse 6. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. What are those events called? LGBT pride festivals. pride marches, pride parades. It's in the name. Violence covered them as a garment. You know, pedophilia, that's what? Sexual violence, right? Pedophilia, they assault you. They take the shit because you as a child, you can't consent to that shit. They take the shit. You know, they tried to do that to you, but Yahweh Shai, you know, he had your back. You know, really, you know, all of us, you know, he's had our backs. All the situations that we have had with these devils. It don't matter what these devils do, man. They can't really touch the righteous. They can't touch the righteous that's chosen to be saved. The seed of the righteous that's been chosen. They can't touch them. They're gonna try again too. They're gonna try to roll on us, but they're not gonna be able to touch us. Because you know what? The name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is a strong tower, and that name was given to who? The elect. And he knew that, you know, the elect are, I'm not saying you're the elect or that I am, like, we don't know. We gonna see. Well, he did keep you safe from that. And the elect, they're given that name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's 13 verse 17. I believe so. Psalms, probably Psalms 17 verse 13. Salakia. Which that's basically the elect. The elect, basically, they got that name, so that's a strong tower. There's a precept that goes into that. I mean, just look it up. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. But for those just tuning in, I was going into how, that's Proverbs 18 verse 10. I was not that far. The name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and are safe. That's actually Proverbs 18:10. But the whole, okay, what I was bringing out in this live was that the so-called Mexicans, you know, y'all so-called Mexicans, y'all are, and you so-called Central Americans, you know, as well as you so-called Latinos, all you so-called Latinos, y'all the tribes, man. And this is more proof. You know, I'm specifically addressing y'all, you so-called Mexicans, and you so-called Central Americans, because y'all are, because the Maya, man, they made up of both of y'all, of both Issachar and Zebulon, which that's you so-called Mexicans, y'all are of the tribe of Issachar, and you so-called Latinos, Salaki, you so-called Central Americans, y'all are of the tribe of Zebulon. And this is just more proof of it. Oh, they are cursed with pestilence now? Hey, man. Not only his anointed, but his little ones. You know, Yahweh Ratazah be that number, but it's looking more and more likely that we are of that number. Yeah. Touch not my anointed. Mashiach mean anointed, right? Meshika, man. Come on. You so-called Mexicans are the tribe. All the tribes. Y'all are the tribe of Ishkar. There's plenty of proof. In Psalm 105:15, yeah, it says, do not touch my anointed ones. Let me get it. Saying, oh, you suffered no man to do them wrong, verse 14. Yeah, you reprove kings for their sakes, you know. And yet when Yahweh Shem Yahushua was dealing with our people as a whole, but he's dealing with the 1/3 on this side. So verse 15 saying, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. And these devils, man, these devils, they fucked up. They fucked up. They touched his anointed. And now they're gonna pay. And those fags